Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. Well, it's time, Banlist prediction. It has been a while, haven't done this one last time. I'm not a huge fan of these, but it's I'm quite happy with the current format. You know, my videos are like super based on, you know, the upcoming OCG cards, OCG format, and my, at least my biggest input, I guess, how I see, at least how I want any like particular or certain ban list is to, you know, try out or get to try out the new and upcoming cards slash decks, as you know, the OCG will get them sooner compared to the TCG, and most of the time when the OCG releases a new archetype, well, Sword Soul for example, or you know, like Brave, the new Brave cards, some are like, they aren't really that good. You're testing them under the TCG format, TCG banlist, but our current TCG decks are far too powerful, so it's hard to test them or try them out, right? To let them see how powerful they are when they would be released in the TCG. But anyway, so that's, I guess, my mindset behind the particular ban list. So I have a big one here, but I think it's pretty obvious that all these cards here that are going to be put up on screen, it's not like a complete list, it's not like this should happen. No, most of them are just cards that I, you know, want to talk about that might get hit or might get limited or unlimited or whatever. A couple of honorable mentions as well. So without further ado, let's take a look. Let's start off with the banned cards first. And as you might have seen in other ban list prediction, is this a prediction? Maybe a small wish list? No, not really. But for me, there are some cards on this particular list that I have here that I feel definitely should get hit in some way. So the first one slash two, you know, I guess I'll take them together. First of all, Anaconda, the link to, plus I guess Dragoon as well. You know, Dragoon is currently banned in the OCG for a good reason. Their format is much, I was about to say much slower, but much more control based, and you know, their Dragoon is much more powerful in such a format. But here in the TCG, Dragoon definitely has a place in a couple of decks. I'm looking at stuff like Invoked, Guru Control, you know, for example, Invoked Fusion based decks, and so on, you know, Virtual World with Mud Dragon, I guess, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of bypass Red Eyes Fusion, even though it could get limited. Konami TCG could do that, right? And with the tins around the corner, you know, Konami might not hit Dragoon and Anaconda either way, but I feel a little bit more about Anaconda, you know, getting like a hit compared to Dragoon. But again, I won't be surprised if Konami just flat out ban Dragoon, TCG Konami that is, and keeps Anaconda in favor of, you know, the Destiny Hero package that's currently running rampant in the OCG. Next up, banned card, we have Mystic Mine. I'm following the OCG, and okay, the argument of, well, we have a completely different format. Again, TCG versus OCG. The OCG also has a completely different format. They have stuff like Maxi Illegal, and I kinda agree, but this is like a hit that I guess should have happened much sooner. I feel, and I guess a lot of people also think the same. Some people don't, and that's completely fine, but Mystic Mine is one of the most unhealthiest, is that correct English, cards currently in the game, and I don't, you know, see this card promoting like healthy gameplay. So Mystic Mine banned? Not sure if this will happen. The next one is kind of similar, on the same level of Mystic Mine, and it's one of the few cards that I guess post-errata is still good, overpowered, broken, Imperial Order. You know, I mean, I don't need to explain Imperial Order, right? It's indirectly searchable off of your Curious Griffin play, your link 4, to immediately set it to the field, but not too many decks are running that nowadays, but it's there. Plus the fact that, obviously, it's a one-off, it completely blocks an entire type of cards, continuous trap as well, hard to deal with, and, you know, can win the game on its own, but, you know, there are more reasons, but I won't be surprised if Konami TCG is going to hit this one. So pretty much like, you know, a hit for a lot of decks, not particularly targeting a certain deck. The last hero I have on this particular list being banned or could be banned or could be hit in some way is Eva. As I've seen in other Banlist predictions, Drytron is a deck that definitely should get hit, but not fully hit, or directly hit. Other options I have are here as well. We'll come back to that soon. But Eva might be the one to go, even though I'm looking forward to the, the new agent cards, the new fairy agent structure deck. Even though it's not really being ran in that, I think. But still, if Drytron should get a hit, Eva might be the scapegoat. But again, I'm looking at Dragoon as well, Drytron definitely has the capability to run that also. So hitting or banning Dragoon kinda hits that also, or at least that deck. Cards going back to, or cards going to 1. These ones I feel are... It could happen, definitely. I'm looking at Prankets first. I don't see too many cards for Prankets. The only one, I guess, is their Link 1, Meow Meow. Facilitates the deck so much. It makes the deck much more consistent, much more powerful, much more resilient compared to Hand Traps, Ash Blossom, whatever. But only one off, so you can get off, let's say, a Butler twice during your opponent's turn, and that's it. You know your opponent only has access to 1 Meow Meow, and then you can go from there. So again, if they hit Prankets, I feel it's Meow Meow, but for the rest, I don't feel Prankets will get hit in any form of, like other cards. The next one, we have Tri-Brigade, and Zodiac, well, / Tri-Brigade was hit on our previous list with Dryden, and I guess let's take the second one as well, Tanky. Rota is at 1 if I'm not mistaken, and the fact that your Tanky is such a powerful searcher, Tanky is also like one of those cards that has been, at least it's always on those prediction lists, 2-2, 2-1, but never, it will always stay at 3. So if it's a list, if it's going to be the time, then I feel now it's the time. Either semi-limited or probably limited. Same for Revolt, Soul Charge, searchable, very similar to Return from a Different Dimension. Link Summon during your opponent's turn. Do you need more? Makes Tri-Brigade still playable, but only one of Revolt makes it so that Desires is a dangerous pick to run in the deck. Next up is a card that I see a lot of prediction lists coming back, or, putting at 1, and it's Harp Horror. Again, following, I guess, the OCG, where, if I'm not mistaken, Harp Horror is at 1. And I'm not a huge fan of it, but I think that bringing Harp Horror back, it's just going to spice up the format a little bit. Just, give people more things to test out. But let's face it, let's look on the other side, is why should Konami TCG bring this one back? I don't see any, at least from the top of my head, like cards or archetypes that would be released in the future that would capitalize on this. Machina, maybe, I don't know. The last one is an iffy one, and I'm again following the OCG with Zeus, but a couple of things is that, okay, it just got its reprint. Well, it's going to get a reprint in the TCG with the the new tints. But on the other hand, and again following the OCG, but on the other hand, why would you limit Zeus? Most decks are already playing one. Well, decks that can put up Zeus. But I feel that by just limiting it, putting it at 1, kinda makes it so that you can only expect at least the maximum amount of 1 Zeus from your opponent. So I guess that's pretty much the biggest reason why you would limit Zeus, but I feel this is one of those cards that eventually, at least on our next list, like October, will not get touched. I see that Zeus will just stay at 3. Anyway, cards going back to 3, so again, no cards going back to 2. I think we only have 1 card at 2, and that's Malicious. Let's with like the new Destiny Hero and Destiny Hero support makes it so that you can abuse Malicious as well. Let's just keep it at 2. Cards going back to 3, I feel no surprise with Double Iris Magician, and let's put Joker here as well. This is an iffy one, but let's be honest, I feel that Konami TCG could definitely put Double Iris to 3. And just keep Joker at 1. I feel that's completely fine. Again, with Electromite being banned, again, Konami TCG, it's not, at least they are not going to, bring Electromite back to the TCG. Even though it would, spice up the format by a lot. But Joker at 3, I don't think so. But at 1, that's fine. But triple double Iris, yeah, that might happen. Infernity Archfiend, I feel it's not going to do anything with Launcher at 1. Same for Dynamite Fighter. A level 6 Trap Searcher. Masterpiece is still banned, keep it like that. I'm not a huge fan of it, bringing it back to 1, again, why would they? But bringing back another copy of, you know, well, at least 3 Dynamite, I could definitely see happening. And last here, I again am following the OCG because of their, at least the TCG list as well. On our last list, we got Mirage Stelio back, so I could see, well, Gazelle maybe. Gazelle to 2, but again, I'm not a huge fan of putting cards to 2. But Circle to 3, that might be the case. And Gazelle at 1 still. That might happen, could happen. So that's it for like the quote-unquote regular list. But again, keep in mind, I mean, this is not like the set list, it would happen, this should happen. No, these are just cards I want to talk about. I have a couple of cards here that I'm looking at and kind of feel that, yeah, this might happen. Let's say Dragoon is one of those cards. Imperial Order is one of those cards. Meow Meow is one of those cards. Revolt also. Tenki, maybe? And Double Iris. Those are the cards that I feel have the most chance to be, you know, somewhat limited or banned in some way. Last but not least, a couple of honorable mentions. Call by the Grave. I see people, putting it on the banned list, unlimiting it again. I feel Call by is fine, and with the news that Designator is going to get released in a TCG, I feel that this card will just stay at 1. But I won't be surprised if this card is going to get banned, but I don't think so. Another honorable mention kind of follows the potential Drytron hits, and that's Herald, but I don't feel this makes sense. As in, let's say you won't hit Eva and you want to like touch or, hit Herald. Then you need to touch the high level Herald plus the level 6 one, right? It's level 6, again, searchable by pre-preparation of right. So again, that doesn't make sense. But it's still an honorable mention. But I'm looking at Eva, if you really want to, slow down or make Herald, at least the Herald version, a lot weaker. And then Big Boy Maxi. A lot of controversy. Is it going to happen? I don't think so, even though we are getting a Cross-Arc Designator in the TCG. Konami TCG is not going to put this one back. If they are going to put Maxi at 1, mind-blowing move, but I don't think so. Last honorable mention is Ben 10. Again, one of those cards that I won't be surprised if they put Ben 10 to 0. Hitting Eva, limiting it maybe, even though that won't change too much. Kind of slow down the Herald version, but if they would hit Rytron, Ben 10, Eva, those are, I think, the biggest chances. Right, and then a couple of decks that I, missed, I guess. Virtual World. Well, I'm looking at Dragoon, kinda a hit to Virtual World, but other than that, no Virtual World hits. Heroes, no. Why? Invoked as well. Shadows, I don't think so. I guess you could maybe limit the Field Spell or Alistair, whatever, but again, it's not on here. Why should they? So that's it. Again, keep in mind, this is not like the full list. It should happen, could happen. Most of these are just cards that I, want to try, at least want to talk about. But again, feel free to, give your own opinion. And like always, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Riddim signing out. Peace.